Fossil fuels, and coal in particular, has fueled China's economic rise over the past 3 decades. The country is now the largest carbon emitter across the world. In APEC meeting 2014, President Xi Jinping made a formal pledge that China would peak its carbon emissions by 2030. And recently, a report from the London School of Economics showed even more positive signs. It predicted that China's carbon emissions would start to decline much earlier. In just 10 years, by 2025, the report says China will reach its emissions peak, 5 years earlier than President Xi Jinping's promise.
2025 is a good target. We can try that.
To understand more, we sat down with Zhou Dadi, a researcher with the Energy Research Institute of China's National Development and Reforms Committee, one of the most powerful bodies setting China's economic policies. While Zhou says 2025 is a possibility, it won't be an easy one.
No country up to now has realized that with like a 7 or 6% annual growth rate, and at the same time to really cut down their carbon emission, China needs to keep a relatively high growth rate for a longer time. But most of the developed countries, although they already peaked their emission, their economic growth rate is very low, about 2%, even less.
So far, China is still heavily dependent on fossil fuels. In the city of Datong, known as China's coal capital, coal production is still at full capacity, though production is becoming more efficient.
We work day and night to maximize our output. We're now capable of extracting 9 tons of coal per day in this mining site alone.
China now burns 4 billion tons of coal each year, almost as much as the rest of the world combined. Coal accounts for 2/3 of China's energy supply, compared to just 1/10 from clean energy.
The coal is very possible already be peaked. Or anyway, they will not increase a lot. The peak is not say, okay, you will get rid of the coal. The issue is, do we need more coal as 5 billion tons? Or we can really keep on this 4 billion tons, or even in the future we will use this less?
Zhou says that future is possible as China is working to find renewable energies. The country is now the world's top investor in wind and solar power. Many of such changes have been prompted by the need to tackle air pollution, but China's leaders are also acutely conscious of their country's particular vulnerability to global warming. Later this year, a UN climate conference will be held in Paris, gathering decision makers from both developing and developed countries. China says it is now taking painstaking efforts to reduce carbon emission and hope that other countries, particularly the developed countries, can also shoulder their responsibility. Han Peng, CCTV, Beijing.